Hello everyone, welcome to episode 15 of Parenting in My Pocket Questions and Answers. We are flying through these, we are knocking them out big time. Episode 15, it's a bit mad. It felt like only yesterday we were talking about episode 10 and here we are halfway through that again. So what's been going on this week? Our website is now live, which is great, and you can go over to our website and get a personalised signed copy of Parenting in My Pocket with free shipping worldwide. So head on over to helpmetoparent.ie, go to the Parenting in My Pocket section, and you will see the book and you can buy it. We also have links up there for Barnes & Noble and Waterstones as well, so you can buy them if you don't want to use Amazon. We don't mind. Just get it out there, and please do share when you have got the book. We'd love to see photographs and maybe get some feedback. And thank you to everyone who has put up a review on Amazon. We really appreciate it. Evening. So what else have we got going? We have some new antenatal classes available for January and February. We also have a parenting after separation and divorce course coming up in March that has now been out. You can book online. We still have our Cyber Monday offer. So our online school still has the self-care mini course, which is only €25, so you can grab that. We have our parenting in a pandemic mini course, which is only €25, and then we have our general parenting course, which is 6 sessions, tons and tons of information at only €99. It would normally cost you €280 for those three. You can get all three of those for €119. But anyway, get on, jump on. Even if you're not a parent, the self-care one gives you the tools to look after your own mental health, whether you're a parent or not. So please do go sign up, and we have a monthly free webinar that you can participate in where you can ask any questions you want to me. So that will be coming up, I think, next week. Might need to shift the day, but we'll see. Frukia, Kaylin, good to see you. I hope everyone has had a good week. What's been happening apart from that? It's been busy. I've got a couple of new books. So obviously Volume 2 of the Parenting Q&A will be coming out in the spring, and then we'll have another book on communication within the family coming out in next autumn, maybe, and then I've got a couple other books that I'm taking on to write as well. I never thought I'd be writing books, but I am, and why not? Sure, why not? So yeah, we've got a couple of questions today, quite tough questions really if we think about it, but please do continue to support the Patreon page, patreon.com/Al Donoghue Podcasts. If you can help out once a month, maybe for €1 or €2, that would be fantastic. We really appreciate it. Louise, I've signed up to the self-care one. Great. Have you started it yet, Louise? I'd be curious to know how you get on. Hello Vivi from sunny Florida. Enjoying your reading, good stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And hi from rainy Drogheda. There you go. Let's swap places. I'll happily take the Floridian sun, no problem at all. Yeah, so I think we will have this week, next week, maybe the following week, I think, and then it'll be the Christmas break where you'll be getting nothing from me. I'm taking a couple of weeks off and I won't be talking to any of you. So whatever's going on for you, don't get in touch. Any questions? Pause. Just ask. Just buy Help Me to Parent, Parenting My Pocket book, and all the answers are in there already. Okay, question 1. My parents have been married for over 30 years. Myself and my 2 brothers had a lovely childhood growing up and felt very loved. My parents have both been heavily involved in bringing up my own twin boys, and my kids love spending time with their grandparents. Unfortunately, my parents have decided to separate, and this has devastated me. I loved taking the twins up to them every couple of days and just chatting with them about life and how to be a parent. Little did we know that they had been growing apart for the last 10 years or so. They said there was no other person involved, and they've just decided they want to move on with their lives separately. I'm really worried about things getting difficult between them and me getting caught in the middle. My brothers spend very little time with them, so aren't as heavily involved. I'm also worried about my boys and how they will cope. Have you any suggestions on how to tell them they're 5 years old? As I said, grandparents are a huge part of our lives. They're a huge part of our children's lives, and it's not something we think too much about, because generally what seems to be the case is that as grandparents get older, they just kind of go, right, I'm stuck with you, you're stuck with me, let's just get on with it. You do what you want to do, I'll do what I want to do, and we'll be grand. But here we have an older couple who've decided that they want to separate, and obviously they're completely in their rights to decide to do that. In some ways it's lovely to, not lovely, it can be reassuring to know that there was nobody else involved, so that neither of them had an affair, because that can start to cause a rift and cause a split in terms of your relationship with the parent who may have done that. So that's one less thing to be concerned about, but that doesn't take away your own concern or your own worry or your own sadness. And while you do emphasize that you are worried about telling the boys because they love their grandparents and they love spending time with them, and probably when they call up they're both there, but I think one of the big things that needs to be acknowledged here is your own sadness. So it doesn't matter how old you get, when your parents separate, it's really hard. It's hard, it's emotionally hard, because they're your parents. And even though we get older, what happens is we can emotionally get triggered into the child inside of us. And that child looked up to the two parents to take care of them. And as you said, you had two parents that were great parents. They looked after you and you felt loved. So it's one of those things where you, even though logically you go, okay, it's okay for them to separate, but the little kid inside me is sad because she doesn't want her parents separating, and that's okay. And it's all right to be upset by it. Like, if you find yourself upset, that's okay. And it's okay to acknowledge it. I'm upset that my parents are separating. And your own feelings are just as important as anybody else's. So acknowledge it and sit with it. Now, I'm not saying that, for the next 3 weeks you cocoon yourself because you can't emotionally cope with it. But if the tears come, let them come and just cry it out. It's important to get this out. Obviously, if you find that it's completely overwhelming, well, then maybe it's okay to go and seek professional help. But just for yourself, to acknowledge how you're feeling and accept it, and that's okay. Children, on the other hand, can be very adaptable, and the fact that there isn't a rift between your parents as such could allow this transition for your children to be that bit easier. So I suppose none of us know how they're going to get on when they do separate. They may still decide to meet up because there are elements that they like, and maybe they'll spend time with the kids together even though they're separated. Maybe they won't, but that's one possibility that could happen. The other thing I'd say is the kids are still going to have the opportunity to spend time with their grandparents in two houses if you put the work in, and that can be challenging as well, because you would normally call up to mum and dad's and you'd walk in and there's mum and there's dad, one visit, done. Now it's going to have to be thought out, and you're going, right, well, I'm going to go visit mum now and then I'll visit dad, but maybe I'll do the other way around, but will the other one get annoyed or frustrated if I go and visit the other one? Just make opportunities for your kids to spend time with both of them, and you can let your kids know that Granny and Grandad aren't going to live together anymore. You're still going to see them, but they're just not going to live together anymore. And then answer any questions that they have in a kind of age appropriate manner. So, it's okay to say to them, well, they've decided they just want to live in different houses, because that's the reality. That is the actual reality. They've just decided, from what you've said, to live in different houses, and that's okay. And I have a feeling your children will just accept that. They'll just go, okay, That's fair enough. Now, if they're upset, you can say, well, what's upsetting you? And, well, I like seeing Granny and Grandad in their own house. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right to be upset. You still get to see them, though. Because the other side of this is your children are going to start to grow up. And they're 5 years of age now. But when they kind of hit 7, 8, 9, 10, they're going to be spending probably less time with their grandparents and with you, because they're spending more time doing activities, spending more time with friends, that kind of thing. So there will be a natural kind of shift away from the family unit. And you can still make the effort to get your kids to be in touch with or go and visit their grandparents, even if it is in separate houses. So what I'd say to you is, deal with your own emotions first. Accept it, acknowledge it, and look at what do I need to do to make myself okay. And then look at, when can I go visit with the kids? And because your parents might have not got this planned out yet, what they're going to do with their house, what they're, is one parent going to stay in the original house and the other one going to move out, like what they're going to do. They may need some help with that, and you can provide that, or you don't have to if you don't feel up to it, and let your brothers do it. Because they have that bit more distance, and probably emotionally a bit more distant, then they can get involved in helping with that whole process. And sit down with the kids, let them know that Granny and Grandad are not going to be living together. They might just accept it. They might just go, okay, that's fine. If they get upset, talk to them about their feelings, what it is that's upsetting them, and then reassure them. Acknowledge that it's okay to be upset, but reassure them that everyone's going to be okay. They're still going to have their relationship with their grandparents because you're going to bring them, or the grandparents are going to come visit as well. And you're just going to find a new way of working, which you would be doing anyway as your children grow up, because they will be spending more time away from everybody. So I hope that helps. Like I said, it is really tough when parents separate. No matter what age you are, it is challenging, it's difficult, and it's emotional, and that's okay. So take care of yourself, and then take care of your kids as well. Okay, Louise, I will start at the weekend, I promise. Oh, you better, or you'll be in big trouble if you don't start. Hi Jennifer, late because I had to chase after my dog because she would rather play ball than go inside. I think the dog is absolutely correct. I'll just jump in and watch the whole episode back later. Hope you had a good day, good week, and are doing well. Yes, we are. Thank you. Hope you're doing well too. Okay, second and last question for today. I'm really worried about Christmas and money. I was let go from my job at the start of the first lockdown and haven't been able to find work since. The government subsidy has helped to pay some of the bills, but after taking the mortgage break, so for those of you not in Ireland, I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but the banks here in Ireland offered mortgage holders the opportunity to take a payment break where they could put off starting to pay their mortgage back for 3 or 6 months. So a lot of people would have picked it up because they didn't know what was happening. A lot of people were let go, and people were on this government subsidy, which was higher than the normal social welfare. But it was just to try and help people manage through this. But subsequently, after the maximum of 6 months, mortgages started to kick back in again and started to have to be paid. So, yes, so the government subsidy had helped pay some of the bills, but after taking the mortgage break, we've now had to start paying it again, and this has basically left us with no money after paying our monthly bills. Our 3 children are all big fans of Santa and are looking for toys that are quite expensive. We've picked up most of the things they wanted over the last few months, but like all kids, they start throwing new ideas around when they start seeing the adverts on TV. This year has been so hard for everyone, and I don't want to let them down even more, but I just don't know what to do. My husband says we should get a loan from either the credit union or a short-term money lender, but with no job prospects on the horizon, I'm worried about paying it back and the interest rate that will be charged. Can you wave your magic wand and help me figure out what's best to do, please? I've no doubt there's going to be a lot of families out there who are in a similar situation to this lady, where the jobs have just dried up. There just isn't the same level of income coming in. Christmas is coming. Children are looking for particular gifts, and you want to be able to give them as good a Christmas as possible, especially because it's been such an unusual year for everybody. So the first thing I'd say is you're absolutely right to be cautious about going and borrowing money, especially from money lenders. So the credit union, for those of you again not in Ireland, the credit union is like a bank, but it's a cooperative. So it's fantastic. So I have the credit union are fantastic for loans and being flexible, and they're brilliant. If you do want to go with the credit union loan, I would do that. Don't go with a money lender, because the short-term money lenders, the rates of interest they charge are astronomical, absolutely astronomical. You will be paying way more back than you've actually borrowed, like times X amount. So don't do that. The other thing I would say is you did say, and it's an important nugget of information, that you have pretty much picked up most of the presents. And just because the kids have started to change their mind because they're seeing all the adverts doesn't mean you have to deviate from that. So one of the little tricks that I suggest for parents to do is to say that Santa started to get your presents ready back in August, September time, because Santa knows what to do. Like, he knows what you're going to look for, or he's been listening to you, because Santa's watching, but he's been listening to you and he heard you talking about these things. So if they haven't written their Santa letters, look at, okay, well, let's write the Santa letter in terms of where you're at with the gifts that are available, as opposed to what they want now. Because realistically, probably the gifts that they were looking for earlier are probably the ones that are going to give them the happiness. And I think the biggest thing in all this to remember is that it doesn't matter what you get your children. They're probably going to be really happy come Christmas morning when they're opening presents, no matter what. Now, there might be the question of, oh, I didn't get X. And you can say, well, that's okay. Santa obviously just didn't have it. Now, I know sometimes that Santa does write notes to children. I believe that is the case, that Santa does write notes at times, just to let the children know that given the amount of work that the elves had to take on board, they weren't able to give a particular child a particular gift because of the amount of work that they had to get through, and to apologise and to say, here's, you can either ask for it next year, or I'm going to get in touch with your parents to see if maybe in 6 months' time or something like that, or maybe for your birthday, they can get you that present. And that might take a bit of the sting out of it for the kids. And it's amazing how well they respond to it. Trust me, I've had numerous parents come back to me and say, that worked, actually worked. And even that little bit of disappointment will be gone pretty quickly, because they're going to get on with playing with things, going to get on with having fun and enjoying their Christmas day. So ultimately, I understand the guilt that you're feeling and the pressure that you're feeling, because it's hitting you on an emotional level. And when we are under stress, the emotion overpowers the logic, right? And the reason you're under stress is because COVID, jobs, money, bills, mortgage, children, husband, everything else. That's a huge amount of stress and strain and pressure for you to be under. And trying to keep everybody okay, what happens is you're holding everybody up. And it just gets too much to bear sometimes. So let everything rest for a second and settle within yourself that you're doing the best that you can. You don't need to make up for COVID. You don't need to make up for any disappointments your children have had throughout the year, or lack of structure or normality in inverted commas. You don't have to make up for that. Your kids are going to be okay. We are all going to be pretty much okay. There's going to be ups and downs, but that's just a normal part of life, and there will always be ups and downs anyway. your kids are going to be okay. If they're not spoiled this Christmas, that's okay too. And if they get to 25 years of age and turn around to you and say, Mom, you ruined my whole childhood because my Christmas when in 2020 I didn't get a PlayStation 5, they've had very little to worry about. And that's not going to happen anyway. If it does, they should probably go and speak to somebody, because that's completely over the top. If their childhood is ruined that they didn't get a PlayStation 5, they'll probably be buying their own PlayStation 25s at that stage. So take the pressure off. They're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And who knows what's going to be around the corner after Christmas in terms of jobs. So don't put yourself under too much financial pressure right now just to try and make up for the challenges that your children have faced this year. Go with what you have. In fact, I wouldn't, like you said, you've pretty much everything. I wouldn't go with any more. Let Santa write the note to explain the situation. And then just look at going, my kids are going to enjoy the day anyway. And look at, well, can we do things? Like maybe what Santa gives instead is a family day out to a park that doesn't cost any money, where you can get a picnic, or something like that. Something in the future that they'll actually have a great time with. And, or even if it does cost money, keep the cost down, like go to a jump zone, or that's their present, that they're going to get to go to a jump zone in 2021. Trust me, the surprise element will catch them off guard and make them go, this is fantastic. I understand it's extremely stressful, and it's okay. You're doing the best that you can. Everybody's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You will get another job, and you will be able to maybe spoil them next year or the year after, but maybe they'll just enjoy what they have this year anyway. Don't put yourself in more debt. You don't need to. Christmas is not going to be ruined. Okay guys, that's it for today. Please do continue to like and share the podcasts and the videos, and I really do, it means so much to have the support there. Don't forget, go over to helpmetoparent.ie and you can pick up your own signed copy and personalised to you. I might draw a little picture on it and everything. Pick up your own copy with free shipping worldwide. I know it's crazy, it's losing me money, but I just want this in people's hands, and please do get it out and share your experience of it. If you think it's crap, that's okay. If you think it's all right, that's good. If you think it's fantastic, even better. But go over, grab your own copy. It'll be signed. Might do a little doodle for you. Who knows? And I hope you enjoy it. Alright guys, take care and have a wonderful week. I really appreciate all the support. And I will chat to you this time next week. Cheerio.